I never felt like I hit rock bottom. I didn't lose anything when I ended up losing myself. When a person says that they hit rock bottom, to me that indicates that they have lost everything. Their job, their livelihood, friends, family, their marriage fell apart. But what about the term reduced to ashes? Because I was indeed reduced to ashes. And in this video, we are going to talk about that experience, how I got to that point, and what I did to rise again, just like a phoenix. It's Jamie here, and on this channel I do everything wellness of mind, body, and spirit so that we can live our best lives. I think in order to start off this video, we need to define the terms that I just was talking about. What is rock bottom? When you look up rock bottom, it says at the lowest level. And then when you look up reduced to ashes, it means completely destroyed. And that is exactly how I felt when I went through this very dark period of time in my life. And I wanted to make this video because I've come back from that. And I want to share with you what I did to bring myself back up. Because believe me, it was a lot. If you like this kind of content, please hit subscribe. Thank you. So the process of losing oneself, if you will, in my case took quite a few years because I was going along just fine, working and being a wife and a mother, and then slowly sort of external factors started happening to me that were causing me to really lose my sense of self, lose my self-confidence. I lost my confidence at work. I was losing my confidence as a mother, as I was raising teenagers that were challenging me, like you wouldn't believe. And then there was the element of drinking, which was so normalized in my life and with everyone that I knew. And I just kept getting kind of deeper and deeper into that drinking problem that I had. So I made the choice to give up alcohol to improve my life. But then I was left with this mess of a person, and I had no idea what to do with her, and I had no numbing agent to not deal with it. So now I'm left with a life that I had kind of destroyed just internally, and how was I gonna turn that around? So after I gave up alcohol, I kind of figured that I would just, go through the process and get some months under my belt and just feel better. But instead, I started to lose all happiness of any kind. And part of that reason is because alcohol releases dopamine. And when alcohol is in your life on a daily basis, your body doesn't release dopamine until you drink that glass of wine or have that beer or whatever. And so when I gave up alcohol, I no longer produced my own dopamine. So nothing made me happy. And now I had a very strong sense of determination that I was going to go ahead and, stick to my path, stick to my choice and not drink alcohol. But I couldn't walk my dog without crying. I just wasn't feeling happy with anything. The things that had become a problem in my life that I was able to numb out at the end of the day with wine, I was no longer able to drown out. So my career was making me miserable. The people around me were making me miserable. I had all these toxic friends that just did not have my best interest in mind. And this was a really hard realization. I felt like a complete failure in everything I was doing. And mind you, I had just graduated with a doctorate degree and was a professor and in leadership roles, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that way. I had no confidence. I felt like I was a complete failure, and it just snowballed to every aspect of my life. And so I had to make changes. But of course, any change causes stress. So I had to make changes. I quit my job and I went and started working for another organization. And that organization, for me personally, ended up being even worse. And the toxic work environment was like nothing I had ever experienced. It was mid-COVID. And I just remember one day getting ready for work and I had this terrifying feeling come over me. And I just thought, I am not okay. And I wasn't even sure what to do. So at this point, I was like, Jamie, you have to make changes. And so I turned to the people I trusted the most. I cut out toxic people from my life. I got a therapist who told me, you need to quit this job, which is kind of funny for a therapist to just straight out be like, you need to get out. And I started listening to YouTube videos actually, and they helped me so much, which was actually part of the motivation for me to start this channel myself. But Jennifer Brick, love you and your videos, helped me with the toxic work environment and healing from a toxic work environment. My therapist helped me make the decision to leave that toxic work environment. And there were 5 things that I had to do that were very difficult in order to pick myself up and get to the place where I am today. So I'm gonna share those things with you right now. Number 1, I had put myself in a position where I was always fighting for everyone else's well-being. With the personality that I have and the drive that I had very high expectations for everyone around me. And that was hurting me. I was holding on to this sort of idea or dream that I had for the people in my life that they didn't share. And I had to radically accept what is what is. And that was probably the biggest change that I had to make, was letting go of control, giving up codependency for, the people in my life, and just radically accept and love people for who they are and what they wanted to do and what they wanted to be. Number 2, my whole entire life was all about drinking wine, going out with friends, and climbing the corporate clinical ladder. And in doing this, I surrounded myself with a lot of people who were a lot like me. Drinking problem, performance addiction, overachievers. And really I started to realize that they did not have the best intentions for me and would oftentimes, in a sly way, throw me under the bus. And I had to get rid of all the toxic people that were in my life and had been in my life for quite some time. And that was hard too. Number 3, I had wanted to feel needed and important to everyone in my life, and I had 0 boundaries. I had students who, if they called me at midnight, I took the call. People needed money, I gave them money. If they needed a ride at midnight, I gave them a ride at midnight. And I was exhausting myself. So I had to learn to set boundaries. And some of the ways that I did that was I no longer have my work email on my phone. I set strict office hours. And even in my own family, I am no longer available to be the bank of Jamie. Number 4, I'm really not kidding when I say I completely lost who I was. I had no idea what I wanted anymore, what I liked anymore. And it left me in this space of, well, I have the opportunity to figure it out and figure it out for real. What do I want? Not what do people want from me, not what do I think people want, but what do I want in my life? And that was pretty scary too. And I did a lot of that by reading books. I started to kind of think maybe I was part of the problem and I needed to be accountable for that. Number 5, and in losing myself, I had also developed so much self-doubt and insecurity that I started journaling at night and practicing gratitude, where I wrote down 3 things that I was grateful for every single day, no matter what it was. And I would look up positive affirmations on Instagram. I have a lot of accounts like that. And I would read sort of self-help books that would just help me rediscover what it was that I wanted to do. I don't think anyone is immune to this type of thing happening, because life really does get busy, and before you know it, you're in a place that you never thought you would be, or a mindset that you never thought that you would be in. But if you recognize it and you do the steps and do the work, which is scary and a little challenging, you can get to the place that you want to be and the person that you know you are. If you have any questions about any of the points I made, or you want me to elaborate on any of them, please let me know, and I definitely will. I have videos on the toxic work environment and how I healed from that. I also have videos on when I gave up alcohol in the first 30 days in the first year, so I'll link the playlists here. And I hope to see you in the next video, and take care, okay?